Man, just when we thought it was over, man. Just when we thought the Knicks was going to get a sweep, the Spurs won at Madison Square Garden. I'm already saying Trump jinxed it, bro. All right, so I'm going to let you know off rip, bro. Wemby hurt us, bro. When first quarter of the game, Wemby was going in that paint, attacking that rim, dunking on niggas. Mismatch every time. Hard in the paint. Last game, the other few games we saw, Wemby was out here trying to ISO, shoot threes and all that. This game, he was going to the paint, man. I'll say in this game, the Spurs once again started off extremely hot, like they have been the last two games, and they were ahead on the Knicks. Really, the only thing keeping them in the game was Josh Hart hitting threes. A couple shots from Jalen Brunson. Tough shot. Very tough shot. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too easy, bro. Wemby's low-key figuring it out, okay? He's low-key figuring it out. It's kind of like Game 4 Wemby from the OKC series in the paint. Easy, 2 easy buckets, right? Watch this. All right. Notice, like, he's not staying on the three-point. He's passing. He's rolling to that basket. Wemby is. I'm telling you, in this first quarter, Josh Hart had some really big threes. He was actually hitting a lot of good threes in the first quarter to keep this Knicks team in the game. But this is the Wemby we wanted to see in the last, like, 2 minutes. Bro, they can't stop that. To the paint. To the rim, man. Yeah. Hey. We're seeing a little bit of a pre-injury Anunoby in this game too. Bro, a spin move, dunking the ball. Anunoby this game had 28 points, 5 rebounds. He was a huge secondary scorer for this Knicks team tonight. Cat is very nice. Every time Cat got the ball in the first quarter, he was getting a bucket. I ain't gonna lie to you. Luke Cornett, that was chicken. For the Spurs, right? In the first quarter, the main role players for the Spurs were Stephen Castle had 23 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists. De'Aaron Fox had 12 and 8, 12 points, 8 assists. Dylan Harper had 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. So, you know, the Spurs had 3 players going crazy tonight. 3 players with over 10 points. Brunson was getting to the bucket, though. Brunson was getting those baskets, but they did not make it easy for him whatsoever. Dylan Harper as a rookie has been phenomenal this series. That shot from Brunson, like, they're making it extremely hard for him because all of the Spurs guards can really play defense. Every single one of them, for real. Yeah. And Anunoby was getting busy, like I said. He was getting busy. He was attacking that basket, kicking out, doing his thing. I think what the Knicks were missing was one more role player. They had 2 people playing good. Cat had a good first half. He was getting to it. They needed one more person to step up in that second half right here. Tough shot. Yeah, he was cooking. They just needed one more person who really could take over. Because the Spurs, they had Castle, like I said, they had Castle, Harper, and Wemby going off. Another thing in this game that kind of swing this game as well, and I don't know if they're going to show you in the highlights, right? So in this game, right, the turnover ratio was crazy, right? We're talking about the Knicks had 13 turnovers, the Spurs had 8 turnovers. But the issue is, you know, the Spurs converted and were way more efficient off of their turnovers. The Spurs scored 21 points off of the Knicks' 13 turnovers, and the Knicks literally only scored 7 points off of the Spurs' 8 turnovers. Also, you have to understand too, some of these turnovers, like the one you just saw right here, these were dumb turnovers. It's not like they were forced turnovers. These were like, here, have the ball kind of turnovers. You can't, like, come on, bro. In a finals game, a game of possessions, a game of inches, you know, like, you can't be given those easy turnovers. And I saw about 3 to 4 in the first 3 minutes of the first quarter, and I saw a few in the second half of the game as well too. So this really hurt them, especially because plays like this, and then you're gonna follow him. This was a momentum play right there, and they got the 3-point play. I will say, in terms of the refereeing in the second half, it was kind of, I think the NBA might be having an agenda, because in the second half of the game, it was a 25-18 free throw attempts it was like 21-8. So basically the Spurs had 21 foul shots. 24-8. Spurs had 24 free throws, and the Knicks only had 8 free throws in the second half. Mike Brown was like, yo, that's crazy, yo, that's wild. Yo. I think it is wild too, because the Knicks were attacking the paint too, but the refs was definitely giving Spurs them calls. But it could also be argued that Wemby was just way more aggressive in the paint game and was drawing more fouls. But I'll let y'all argue that. But you see right here, this is a perfect example, right, of careless passing. Right, bro drives the basket. Dylan Harper reads that lane perfectly. He just missed it by a little bit. Anunoby, I don't know how he got this one. This one was just tough corner work. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was probably one of the best games we've seen from Anunoby in this series thus far. But this is kind of like the same kind of game that we've been seeing for the most part in terms of momentum wise that we've been seeing throughout this whole series, especially with the Knicks. They trail, and eventually they stay around just long enough. They basically rope-a-dope them. Tough shot. I don't know if y'all know what the rope-a-dope is. If you don't know what the rope-a-dope is, look it up. But that's basically what happened. That's the Knicks strategy. But the Spurs, man, if they just play the same kind of great basketball for 42 minutes, they could win this. But as I'm watching this game, I'm already saying, like, bro, if the Knicks lose, bro, Trump, you jinx the Knicks, bro. Trump jinx the fucking Knicks. All right, Brunson getting into his bag. Brunson this game, I want y'all to know, Brunson this game had 32 points. He had 32 points this game, but they were a tough 32 points. They weren't easy. They weren't easy 32. This is where shit was crazy. Honestly, I understand how they're gonna call. I can understand how they call it a flagrant because he landed in his like landing zone, but at the same time, I don't see really how that's a flagrant on Jalen Brunson because that was a kind of a close call. I don't know if I would give that to him. Tough. Get your own rebound, put it back up. Yeah, man. This game was a close game. I think right around here, third quarter, fourth quarter, good dunk by Anunoby, was kind of when, at some point, I can't remember if it was the third quarter or the fourth quarter, at some point in the second half, though, Knicks was getting buckets. Like, this was crazy, right? But at some point, the offense just stalled. You know, they just couldn't find a shot. And the Spurs kept making shots. Yeah, good shot by Wemby. Yeah, Wemby gets the ball. But the thing is, Wemby, he didn't start off shooting threes this game. You know what I'm saying? He was attacking the paint. So I don't mind him shooting threes. It's just, can we get some attack in the paint, which he was doing? Yeah. I think it was the fourth quarter when the offense for the Knicks stalled. Man, Champagnie has been exceptional this entire series. The last two series, Champagnie has been really, really good. Clarkson came in and gave the Knicks some good minutes today. Wasn't good enough. Tonight, Champagnie had 12 points, 3-7 from the three-point line, 4-9 from the field. He had a decent night. But I think for him, he just has hit really big, timely shots for that Spurs team. Hey, but that's all I'm saying. That's too easy, bro. That's too easy for Wemby. That's like bread and butter all day right there. Easy shot. I saw that one a mile away. That was super tough by Jalen Brunson. Hey, Brunson was getting his buckets, man. And the highlights don't really do it justice, right? But watching this game live, like Brunson was getting his buckets for sure, right? But the issue I had with Brunson was the buckets that he was getting, they were so hard to get. Like, if we go back to this last play right here, right? I think a lot of this game, it was too much ISO for Brunson, and it allowed the defense to really focus in on him. Like, I think the offense low-key needed to be run through somebody. God damn, Wemby. That was kind of vicious. Wemby. Why you do that to him, Wemby? Golly. You was trying to finger roll on Wemby? Come on, bro. You was trying to finger roll on Wemby? You gotta dunk that, bro. Because Wemby slapping that shit out of it. He's slapping that shit to his home planet, bro. What are we doing? Tough shot. Jalen Brunson was holding the ball too much a little bit, I think. It was a little bit too much isolation plays for Brunson. Too much dribbling. And by too much dribbling, it ended up being a lot of late clock shots, like 3 seconds on a shot clock, trying to get the ball up. And that caused him to force a lot of turnovers as well, too. The highlights obviously aren't going to show you that part right here because it's just the highlights, but I'm just telling you what I saw from watching the game. So this right here, man, right? This is like the last 32 seconds. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's go back, right? So 2 minutes, now it's like, I'm like, damn, it might be clips for the Knicks. And then Jalen Brunson says, excuse me, step back. Can't stop that. Can't stop this MC Hammer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, shit, they might be able to win this. After that clutch three from Brunson, I'm like, here we go again. It's the same thing that's been consistently happening when it comes to the teams of the Knicks play. They walk them down, bro. They walk them down. Like, even the Cavs, they had some games, I think, where they were up. And the Spurs had some games where they've been up for the whole maybe 3 to 4 quarters. And that last 2 minutes, man, the Knicks walked them the fuck down. Now, mind you, I will say the fourth quarter, the Knicks offense did stall. So up until that shot right there from Brunson, they really wasn't making a lot of shots. They had a lot of open looks. They weren't really hitting shots like that. They had the opportunity to win the game multiple times before, but they just weren't able to drop shots or get shots to fall in. So that shot was clutch time from Jalen Brunson. Boom, that was tough. The Spurs were on an 11-2 run at the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, right? And then you got De'Aaron Fox, man. This is a De'Aaron Fox they paid all that money for, man. Clutch shot. Very clutch shot. And great defense, though. Super great defense. Like, bro barely got it off, man. That was just a tougher shot. Good defense, but better offense. You know how it goes. So now, this is crazy too, bro. Anunoby, man, this game was just going crazy, this game. They just needed one more person. And then Steven Castle, I think he's a second or third year, but for him to make these big shots in this big moment in the New York Madison Square Garden was a big time. Those are big foul shots for Steven Castle, especially he hasn't done particularly well from the free throw line this series. So for the San Antonio Spurs, right, to come in, New York, man, New York of all places, Madison Square Garden, and still win at home in that kind of atmosphere, says a lot about Wemby and the Spurs, man. They're a tough team. And my concern when it comes to Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs is because, like, I've seen Wemby in the OKC series. I see him evolve, bro. It's like I don't know if I'm the anime man, but it's like watching Wemby. Let's pull up Wemby. Watching Wemby, bro, is like, I don't know if y'all seen Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? If you fuck with anime, then you definitely seen Dragon Ball Z, right? Watching Wemby is like seeing Frieza. Every time you fight Frieza and you think you beat him, next you know this nigga power up. You know what I'm saying? Go to his second form, third form, final form. Like, you just can't beat this person because they keep evolving. That's what Wemby reminds me of. He also reminds me of a lion who finally realizes that he's a lion. He finally realized, wait a minute, I'm a fucking lion or I'm a fucking giant. You know what I'm saying? That's what Wemby gives me. He gives me those kind of vibes right here. He's finally realizing, yo, they can't stop me in the paint. And I think that's very dangerous for this Knicks team because these Knicks games that they've won, they haven't been decisive victories. These have been games where, you know, they've had to come back and get it in the fourth, third quarter. For the Spurs to come into the pressure cooker and still win at home in one of the most intense situations ever, I think that's going to do a lot for the Spurs' confidence. And it's like when you make someone bleed, like, yo, this motherfucker bleeds. It can be like sharks smelling blood in the water. So I think it could be very dangerous going on in this series. I don't know if the Spurs have it in them to go and like win the next 3 or 4 games, but 2-1 sounds a lot better than 3-0. It sounds a lot more doable. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I guess we'll see on the next video or on the next game on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Until then, man, I'll see y'all later. Let me know in the comments who y'all got winning game 4. I'm gonna go Knicks. Mike Brown's a great coach. He's going to make the adjustments necessary. So I'm going to go Knicks in game 4. But let me know in the comments who y'all got, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.